All right, so before we start, I'm just going to remove the drawings and then we can start from the monthly time frame. What do we see on the monthly time frame actually for Euro USD? Before we go into the charts, I'd just like to look at the forex sentiment, and also we can look at the commitment of traders, which is a couple of fundamentals we can base our buyers on. So we're looking at the Euro USD. We are also going to look at the commitment of traders for Euro, first of all. And what I like to look at on the commitment of traders report is for the non-commercial reporting, which shows net positions and long and shorts of big players in the market, the hedge funds, the investment banks, the Morgan Stanleys of this world. And on this chart, you can actually see this is the Euro commitment of traders report. And on the net positions of the big buyers, you can actually see how the euro has been in a downtrend. You can see this significant drop in the last report, and I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see that this simply means the big players are not interested in putting their money in the euro currency at the moment. So those that were holding the euro currency have begun to drop it, which is, or are even actually dropping it harder than before now. So you can see the massive drop on the last report. Let's look at the long positions, who and how much are they actually holding the euro. And you can also see on the long positions it is actually dropping, so they're not picking up new euro buys, they're not buying the euro. Those that have the euro in their portfolio are actually dropping the euro. Those that are interested in buying new euro are not much, and then that's why you can see that drop in the longs now. And on the short, you can actually see how it has been growing. The chart has been growing, and you can see more people are interested in dumping the euro. That's more big buyers are interested in dumping the euro at the moment. And you can owe this actually to the many issues in the eurozone. You have the Ukraine invasion, you have the NATO situation, a couple of European countries trying to join the NATO, people not really sure of if the war is actually going to end soon or not. You have the fuel crisis, you have inflation battle, you have, the economy still recovering from COVID. So there's a lot of issues in the eurozone at the moment, and a lot of people don't want to invest in the euro at the moment. So this is actually expected. And then let's look at the USD. Let's look at the US dollar. On the net positions of the US dollar, you can actually see how interesting this is, because looks like the US is one of the countries handling the COVID situation, the war, the inflation, interest rate situations as serious as they can. And you can actually see how net positions in the US dollar has grown. So on the Euro USD, we start from the monthly chart. We are also going to look at the fundamentals, not just the technicals, but for now, let's look at the technicals. On the technicals, on the charts, we can see that on a monthly chart, the Euro USD is almost like at an ultimate low point since 2015, if you would see on the chart. And this is a significant point, most definitely, for the Euro USD. It's a significant bottom because it's tested, or it's a support zone. You have buyers grouped in this area, and you can see from 2015 tried to break out of this zone but bounced back. Also here 2015, also here 2016. Even during COVID, we did not get to this support zone. So with everything going on in the world at the moment, euro is also trying to recover, coupled with the fact that you also have the invasion into Ukraine, and that has affected the euro currency or the eurozone. and we have been in a slope actually for quite a while now. On the monthly chart you can see where we are, and a couple of rejections on the monthly time frame. In my opinion, I'm thinking we could see some form of correction, just like we've seen here. Drop down, we move back, we couldn't quite break this support zone. Is it possible that we get to break it this time around? 100% possible. Is it possible that we just reverse? 100% possible. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So we'll drop down to the weekly time frame, and a couple of things I'm going to do is to take out the drawings, and then we can look to see what's going on actually. So on weekly time frame, we look at obvious levels that we can expect to look at as the market progresses. So I like to start from a couple of days back or months back, weeks back, to see exactly the story of the currency pair. So I'll start from here. You can see how price has climbed down systematically, and you have the support zone here that was broken, retested, and away we go. You also have right here the support zone turn resistance. So you see bottom here, correction, came, tested again, correction, and eventually broke, and then we retested that point and it became the resistance. Now a couple of levels, we say this is another level, and this is the ultimate bottom we talked about, all-time bottom since 2015. So what exactly are we looking at on weekly charts? We can see this candle right here shows indecision of the market, because we try to come down and then we rejected, we try to go up, and then we just closed about where this candle stopped. Now what are we looking at? For us to see this clearly, I like to drop down to daily time frame to see exactly what we can expect. So like I said, you can see that on a daily time frame there are a couple of zones we can also mark. First things first, I like to look at this part as the liquidity zones that market, you can be surprised by the market sometimes. So underneath this support zone you have a lot of buyers that have bought at this point, maybe at this point, and all have their stop losses below this support zone. Will this support zone hold? I don't know, but what we can begin to see is the one with this support zone in mind and this liquidity level in mind. We can guard, or yes, we can guard against that actually. So places I want to mark on my daily chart is the obvious levels that I think price can retrace to, and then we can begin to expect to react, and that's that level. And if you don't mind, I can also draw a fib to see exactly what this is saying, and you see that quite aligns with the Fibonacci at 61.8% retracement. We can begin to probably expect a continuation to downside, or I can expect for this resistance zone to break, retest, and then we can expect to go to the upside.